Now who's ready to save the world?
Me.
This is the Mark 1 repulsor gear. It is a prototype and one of only a few.
Here we are, a full look at Disney's Playmation Avengers playset with the app, the upgrades, what you can do, all the missions and how they're expanding, and also a full look at all the different Avengers characters we'll be getting in Wave 1, as well as a sneak peek at some Hulk and also some powered activator units as well. Well, here we are at our Disney store, and like other stores across the States, they are doing demonstrations of Playmation. We saw this out in the lab, but now we get to see it in store and try it for ourselves. So as you can see, in store you have that repulsor gear that you wear on your arm, but also these power activators that detect where you are, act as a target, and then on top of that there's a whole range of minifigures that you can bring in. You place it on that activator and it unlocks new content. Now, to give you a bit more detail on Playmation, it all revolves around the different franchise that you're currently playing. It's going to kick off with Avengers, as you can see, arriving fall 2015. But coming after that, 2016, of course, we have Star Wars content, some Star Wars adventures and characters. I imagine that would be included in the new film, The Force Awakens, as well as those older and previous episodes. And then 2017, we're expecting some content for Frozen. So, switching over to Avengers in detail. Now, what you get is a mission, and it's all based around this particular story of Ultron, who is back and has reactivated himself, and then you, as the live action hero, have to go and take him down. And as you can see, there's live action cinematics that they slot in that you watch on the app, as well as here in your wearable tech. And here is one of them, that repulsor unit that you put on your arm. It tells you the story through a speaker. It has haptic vibration feedback, it has lights, a whole load of sensors and a whole load of abilities. But where it gets really interesting is where you take on a particular mission, you go to your app and you go around and you're working through this video game campaign to progress. So as you can see, there's this little ecosystem of different bits and bobs. You've got your wearable tech here. The repulsor gear is one example of that. The power activators stand in the room and they detect where you are and you shoot them, and then the smart figures, which come with abilities and powers and fit on that power activator. These are the connected toys that work with each other, that know what each other is doing, and then you have the app where you can upgrade and you can develop new missions. Now, of course, a lot of this is about the characters, and we've got a whole roster of Avengers characters coming in Playmation. Captain America, Iron Man, Black Widow, Hulk, Thor, Marvel's Falcon, Hulkbuster, of course, and War Machine. So if we hop back, the interesting thing is if we load one of these characters, you can see that this figurine requires a starter pack. It's sold separately, and it comes with these particular attacks that upgrades your wearable tech toys to give you a rocket punch, and it's got a unique attack of Unibeam. If we then go to look at Captain America, you can see that you have a whole different set of abilities: shield strikes, shield throw, vibranium shield, which again is changing the tech of your wearable tech. It's changing the abilities of that and giving you that sense of upgrade. And as we click through the different characters, you can see that all sorts of different abilities open up to you, and that's the incentive to buy these figures. And I really like that, the way that the game evolves as you're playing it. So back in the Disney store, we've got our demonstrators showing these kids how to play the game. They take them through their paces, introduce them to what it's like to wear the tech, and pretty quickly they're off and running, they're playing the game, they're going on their missions, they're targeting various enemies. Now in the store this is relatively static, but you can imagine this out in the garden, out in a free space. You can play, run, there's a load of movement, a load of action possible with Playmation, and I really like that, the active play sort of side of the game. So there you go, that's our look at Playmation. In store you can see the toys that are currently going to be available at launch in fall. But not only that, we got a bit of a sneak peek of some upcoming elements of the game that extends the gameplay. First of all, there's this robot activator that chases you down. It knows where you are in the room and can move towards you. So as you can see, it creates a new sort of style of gameplay, much more active. You have to keep aware of where that drone is. Now, if we see behind the drone, there are these Hulk gloves, which are like this sort of repulsor glove, but have much more sort of motion to them. It's much more about pounding and hitting and stuff like that. So that's what we think about Playmation. We're really quite impressed with it. Still want to play it in the home to get a full sort of review feel of what it's like in action. But what do you think? Is this really a Toys to Life game? Does that video game aspect tick the boxes enough for it to qualify as one of these Toys to Life experiences? Or do you think this is more a toy? But either way, drop us a comment, let us know what you think. Which of these characters would you buy for Playmation? Is it going to be something you're going to be jumping on? Or is it something you're going to wait and see?